What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have Liquid Brun by French Avenue. So Liquid Brun by French Avenue, this one is a fragrance that came out in 2024, so last year as the shooting of this video. This one is a clone of Parfums de Althair, which I absolutely love. That stuff is phenomenal. I don't own a full bottle of Parfums de Althair. I do have a sample set of a bunch of PDM fragrances that I've gotten to try, but I have been able to A/B these two fragrances, and I can tell you guys, this stuff is the real deal. So Liquid Brun is a very, very sweet vanilla-esque winter fall time fragrance. This stuff is absolutely phenomenal. The first time that I smelled Parfums de Althair, I knew I had to pick up a full bottle, but I didn't really want to pay that $300 to $400 price tag that it costs for a full bottle of Althair. I'd heard a lot of people hyping up Liquid Brun by French Avenue, and I was like, well, heck, I'll try it out. It was like $35 to $40 on Joma Shop, so I went ahead and picked up a full-size bottle, and man, let me tell you, I am totally blown away. This stuff is 95% of the way to smelling like Althair. It's dirt cheap, I mean, and it lasts just as long as Althair does, so I'm very, very impressed by what French Avenue has been able to do with Liquid Brun. Now, as far as notes go, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that Liquid Brun is pretty much 100% the same exact notes that Althair is using. So we've got cinnamon, orange blossom, bourbon, vanilla, praline, cardamom, bergamot, elemi, ambroxan, gaiac wood, and musk. All right, let's go ahead and share a few sprays. Atomizer's pretty decent for a cheap fragrance. Can't really complain too much about it. Oh my gosh. There is something in that formulation that Althair and Liquid Brun uses that is just addictive. That cardamom and that cinnamon paired together with that vanilla bourbon. And that praline too. Just absolutely sensational. This stuff is lights out, killer. One of my favorite fragrances that I've smelled from Parfums de Marly easily. Now here's a fair warning. If you've never smelled Althair before and you're thinking about blind buying Liquid Brun or Althair for the most part, keep in mind this is a very, very, very sweet fragrance. If we look at the breakdown of the specific scent profile of this fragrance, the first thing is listed, and it's the most prominent thing on Fragrantica, is sweet. To my nose, I don't get much of the orange blossom, and I think when I think of orange blossom, I'm thinking of things like YSL's Myself. I don't get a lot of that coming out, even though that is one of the top notes. When I first spray it on, I don't pick up a lot of that. I do get some of those warm resins that start to come through as the fragrance starts to dry down. The best way I could personally describe this one would be sweet, spicy, warm vanilla. And this is definitely one of those fragrances too that you could say it is a gourmand or a neo gourmand. It's definitely got an edible character to it. This is a fragrance that, in my opinion, leans winter use. You definitely could pull it off in the fall time, but honestly, with the fall in certain parts of the world, with, you know, in the mornings it's going to be cool, and then the afternoons it's still going to get pretty warm, I wouldn't really recommend wearing this one in those kind of situations. However, I do say it would be a great nighttime fall fragrance, but then like all day, every day kind of winter fragrance kind of use. However, this one also to me seems more like a kind of seductive kind of mood fragrance, not really just, you know, bust it out and wear it every day like as a signature scent in the winter. You definitely could, like, you can do whatever you want to do with your fragrances, but to me this one is definitely more of a kind of special occasion date night kind of scent. It just has that really seductive, sweet, like edible kind of feel to it. Now, as far as longevity goes with Liquid Brun, this stuff lasts, man. I mean, it's, you know, clones of a Parfum de Marly, and I believe the concentration is the same. I think they're both EDPs. I easily get 10 plus hours on skin. I typically, when I go to work for the day, I wake up around 7 o'clock. Fragrance is typically on by about 7:45-ish. So I put this stuff on at 7:45. I get home around 7:45, so 12 hours later, and I can still catch whiffs of this stuff when I get off work. Like yesterday, for example, I wore this to work, got off work, went and hung out with a friend, got home around midnight, and I could still smell this stuff easily 15 hours later. I was catching whiffs. It wasn't like skin scent where I had to go and, you know, search it out myself. I was still picking it up from my own scent cloud 12 to 15 hours later with this stuff. So it definitely has some beast mode performance. As far as projection goes, yeah, it projects pretty well. You get a good, at least arm's distance projection cloud with this stuff. I had a coworker who told me, yeah, she could definitely smell it when I left the room, so it leaves a good sillage, and it just performs honestly very well for it, as cheap as this stuff is. Speaking of cheapness, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the price. I think I picked up this bottle for around $40 from Joma Shop, which, I mean, if we're comparing it to what Parfums de Marly is charging for 125 ml of regular Althair, which is like $400 plus, $40, I mean, that's literally 10% of the overall cost of PDM Althair, and you're getting pretty much exactly the same performance, the same scent profile. This stuff is a no-brainer. I'm not going to tell you that if you want to spend $400 and pick up PDM Althair, go for it, be my guest. But at the end of the day, for me, this stuff is just bang on. There's no point in buying a $400 fragrance unless you like to just purchase stuff as a collector, or if you really need to have that name brand. And I'm not going to sit here and like crap on PDM or anything. I own PDM fragrances. Like, I have Parfums de Marly Layton. And my God, I love Layton. There will be a review on Layton coming very soon now that we're moving back into the fall and winter months of the year. So I will be getting a review out on this delicious fragrance very soon. So overall, would I recommend Parfums de Marly, Althair, or Liquid Brun by French Avenue? Absolutely. If you like sweet cinnamon vanilla-esque fragrances that kind of have a gourmand edge to them, this stuff's a no-brainer. Lasts a long time, it's cheap, it smells great, you're gonna get compliments when you wear it. So if you're looking for something in that realm, I would 100% recommend picking up French Avenues Liquid Brun. If I had to give this one a rating out of 10, I'm pretty cynical with my ratings, but this one is absolutely killer. I'd easily give this a 9 out of 10. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. If you liked it, please comment, like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Let me know down in the comments, have you tried Althair? Have you tried Liquid Brun? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? What are your thoughts on it? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.